Hey everybody, it's Jason. So I'm here with my October 2012 Candles by Victoria haul, and in this one I got the rest of the Christmas scents that I hadn't tried yet, and then I got a few others, but the few others will probably be in part 2. I'll try to get all of these Christmas scents in part 1. We'll see. I'm going to have to be looking at the descriptions for some of these because they're just so similar that I don't know, I have to read the descriptions. So we'll go ahead and get started with these Christmas ones. So we will start off here with eggnog. And eggnog, it's like really creamy, and it almost has a hint of something kind of like lemon zest maybe. And I can kind of smell like that egginess that's like an eggnog. So it does smell pretty true to the way eggnog smells. I would say it probably smells maybe a little bit fresher than eggnog smells, but it is a nice one. Caramel cream eggnog. This one's different from just plain eggnog because it does have that caramel note in it. It smells kind of similar to caramel corn, but yeah, it's still got that eggnog in the background, but it does have that caramel in it. Okay, and then pumpkin eggnog. This one is a very nice pumpkin scent. If you don't like spice, this is a good one for you if you do like pumpkin, because the eggnog really doesn't have any spice in it. And it just adds kind of like a creaminess to the pumpkin, so it's a very nice pumpkin one. Okay, Christmas buttered rum. This one, it smells a lot like Trick or Treat or buttercream or those kind of buttery type scents. It does have a little bit more sweetness, but it's not like a sickeningly sweetness like butter is, which I'm guessing is from the rum. So yeah, if you like buttery type scents, that's definitely a good one to go for. Amaretto eggnog. This one, the strongest note is the amaretto in it. I haven't had regular amaretto, so I can't compare the two, but amaretto has a very strong almond smell to it, so that's mostly what I'm getting. I'm assuming that this one is tempered somewhat, that the regular amaretto is much stronger, because it does have kind of that creaminess in the background, so if you like almond, that's definitely a good one to go for. Okay. Next here we have Bayberry. Bayberry is a very nice one. This one, it's not in the Christmas category, but I put it with the Christmas scents because a lot of people like to burn Bayberry around Christmas time. And it does have that kind of, reminiscent smell of like berries and spices. So yeah, so it is slightly spicy, but it's mostly kind of like a berry type scent. So yep. Okay, next here I have Christmas Pineberry Bough. This one is mulberry and Christmas tree mixed together. So it has that pine scent, but then it's also got that mulberry in it. And I'm not normally the biggest fan of mulberry, but in this one it's very nice because it just adds this really nice sweetness to the pine. So Christmas Pineberry Bough is actually very nice. Okay, let's see here. Next I have Christmas Tree. This one is just straight up pine. So if you don't like the smell of pine, then stay away from this one, but if you do like pine, then this is a good one. I don't know if this really smells like a Christmas tree to me, just because I don't think I've ever had a pine Christmas tree. I think like sugared spruce smells more like a Christmas tree than this does, but yeah, if you like pine, this is definitely the way to go. It doesn't smell like pine sol or anything like that, but yeah, it is pine, so. Okay, we got Winter Snowflake. And this one, I believe, is peppermint and pine. Which, yeah, the first thing to get hit with is that peppermint, and it's like, ooh, wake you up. And then the pine is definitely there in the background. So it's a very, like, bright, in-your-face scent, so that's nice. So yeah, so if you need one to help, like, clear your sinuses or stuff like that, then Winter Snowflake will probably do that for you. Let It Snow is next. And this one is kind of similar to Winter Snowflake in that it's a sinus clear, but this one is eucalyptus, cinnamon, and peppermint. So it's got more of that, like, real, like, nasal decongestant from the eucalyptus. And this one is a little bit, whereas Winter Snowflake is very, like, bright, this one I would describe as dark, because it's more of, like, a deeper type of scent. So even though it's got that peppermint, that eucalyptus, I think the cinnamon really reels it back in so that it's not too strong and overpowering. So that's nice. Sweet Snow. And I've had this one before, and it is one of my all-time favorites. It's peppermint and vanilla. And the creamy vanilla really tones down that peppermint. So it is very, very nice. Really, really like Sweet Snow. It's a very sweet fragrance. Okay. White Christmas. This one's completely different from the rest of them because this is a floral. So what this smells like to me is if you mixed white ginger and pine, because it has that really sweet, like, white ginger type of floral, but then it's got some pine in the background. So it's very interesting. But yeah, it's, if you like white ginger, you probably would love White Christmas because it does smell very close to it. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, Sleigh Bells. This one is definitely cherry almond, and then it's got just like a little hint of peppermint in the background. So, but it's mostly cherry almond. So if you don't like cherry almond, this is not one for you. But yeah, it's brightened up a little bit by that peppermint, so it's not just straight up cherry almond. Okay, let's see here. Victorian Christmas. This one is kind of an earthy one because it's got cinnamon and pine and like bark and clove in it. I mostly get like the cinnamon and the clove, but then it does have that kind of woody note in the background, the kind of evergreen woody note. So yeah. Christmas Lane. This one is kind of in the same vein as Victorian Christmas, except it's sweeter. It's got apples, oaks, balsam, pine, and then the cinnamon and clove. So really, it's pretty much like Victorian Christmas plus like apples and oak. So I'm sure that if you mix those two, that's probably about what you would get with Christmas Lane. So it does have that sweetness from the apples and the oaks. So I'd say of the two, I definitely like Christmas Lane better because it does have that sweetness, which is really nice. Okay. Okay, I'll talk about this one real quick. Warm Christmas Splendor. This one is a dud because I've had this one before, and it's supposed to be spices and orange, I think. But this, I think it just got mislabeled because this is raspberry guava. So, yeah, this one just, I think, got mislabeled. Because I did have Warm Christmas Splendor last year, and I really, really liked it. Yeah. Okay. Christmas Kitchen. This is one I also really like. It's orange, cinnamon, and pumpkin. I mostly get the cinnamon orange out of it, but the pumpkin is definitely there as well. So it's almost like if you mixed pumpkin pickin' and fresh squeezed oranges. It's very, very nice. And it's a really nice Christmas scent without being peppermint, pine, you know, those kind of things you typically think of. So Christmas Kitchen's a good one if you like fruity scents. Okay, Christmas Eve. This one's supposed to smell like Christmas punch. The heaviest note I get out of it is nutmeg. And yeah, it's like really strong nutmeg. I think it's also supposed to have ginger and mace. And then it's supposed to be floating in eggnog. So I do get a little bit of that creamy eggnog in the background, but it's mostly those spices. So this one is like a very spicy version of eggnog. Christmas Cabin. This one's very, very pretty. And Victoria just made a cupcake, or whatever those things are called, the cutie candles. And one of them's in Christmas Cabin. This one is bayberries, cranberries, cinnamon bark, and orange zest. And so I definitely get those berries. The bayberry is the thing that's the strongest. And then it definitely has that orange in there as well. So it's like a very fruity scent. But then it's also pulled in back to Christmas by having the cranberry and the cinnamon. So, very nice. Christmas Apple Cider Snap. This one smells like apple cider, but it's sweeter. And I like this one a lot better than apple cider. Apple cider to me is just really, really potent and strong and spicy. And this is like a sweetened up version of it, because I think it's supposed to have like the Red Hots cinnamon in it. So it's like almost like a candied version of apple cider. So that's really nice. Christmas Cabernet. This one is kind of similar to Victoria's Cabernet scent, but it's much more of like a lighter scent because it's got fresh picked strawberry in it. At least that's what I get out of it. I think it's supposed to be like strawberry and grape wine mixed together. So it does have that grape in there as well, but it doesn't smell like a fake medicinal grape at all. It's like a very nice grape smell. Cabernet is like this really deep, almost like smells like a wine. This one smells more like a fruit juice. So that's nice. Okay. Got two here that are kind of similar, so I'll talk about them. Or they sound like they would be similar. Holiday Wassail is first. This one is supposed to smell like punch, but it's different than, I think it was Christmas Eve, because this is a lot like spicier. This one has apple cider in it. It's got a bunch of juice in it, like lemon juice and orange juice and a bunch of different things, and then spices. So it smells like kind of a more fruity version of apple cider, but still retains that spiciness. So it's not like the Christmas Apple Cider Snap, because it still has that same spice level. It's just a little bit fruitier. And then Holiday Homebrew is the other one. This one is completely different from Holiday Wassail. This is just spices and warm vanilla. So cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, and vanilla. So yeah, it's just kind of like a creamy version of like spices. So it almost reminds me of like Earthquake in the Top Shelf line. It's just a little creamier. So yeah, that's those two. Charlie Brown Christmas. Now this one was a Name That Scent winner, I believe, a million years ago. And this one is odd because it doesn't really remind me of Christmas. The strongest note I get out of it is nutmeg. And then it's got kind of like a bready note in there, almost like cinnamon raisin bread. And then it's supposed to have like bergamot and orange and some other stuff in there. I don't really get any of that. It's supposed to have lily in the valley and raspberry. I don't get either of those. Like I said, it's almost all nutmeg to me. So, okay, Yuletide. This is another one that's completely different from the rest of them. It is cedar right off the bat, and then it's got a really sweet orange in the background. So, if you like the smell of cedar, if you have like a cedar chest or anything like that, Yuletide is a great way to go. It's not as strong as some of the other ones that have cedar in them. Like Breaking Dawn has cedar, and that's like all I smell. But I can definitely get the orange out of this one. It's very well blended. So yeah. So Yuletide's kind of a nice, little bit different one. Okay. Next one I have is Hollyberry. And this one is cinnamon and clove with vanilla and orange. I feel like a lot of these are kind of the same. This one, though, is a lot sweeter than some of the other ones have been, because it's mostly just like a really creamy vanilla orange with just a touch of spice. So it's like if you took the orange vanilla scent, or maybe like dreamsicle, and just threw in a little bit of cinnamon and clove, that would be about what Hollyberry is like. Very nice. Okay, we have, oops, let's do this one. Mistletoe. This one is kind of similar to Hollyberry, but the citrus that's in it, because it's like citrus and spice, the citrus is more of like a lemon citrus than an orange citrus, so it's a little bit brighter. It's still really, really sweet, and just has a hint of spice to it, so yeah, Mistletoe's another nice one. Old-fashioned Christmas. Okay. This one almost smells like... It almost smells like it has eucalyptus to it, but it's supposed to only have citrus, cinnamon, and clove. Kind of like some of the other ones that I've had. But this one's a little bit more of like a bakery type scent as opposed to the more fruity ones. Because I think that the cinnamon and clove really take like front stage in this one, and the citrus is kind of to the side. So yeah, so this one's kind of like Mistletoe, kind of like Hollyberry, except it's more heavy on the spice than the fruit. Okay. Snowberry. This one is not really like those other ones, because this one has berries and then peppermint and cinnamon. I really like the way that the berry, I think it's strawberry and loganberry, mixed with that peppermint, because it's like a super sweet peppermint. And then just a dash of cinnamon in the background. So yeah, if you like sweet peppermint scents, that's definitely a way to go. It's kind of in the same vein as like the candy cane, the blueberry, cherry, strawberry candy cane ones. Just a little bit different. Okay, Christmas Memories. I meant to do this one earlier. This one I really, really like, and I forgot how much I really liked it. It is sugared spruce, cranberry, and oranges, like spiced orange. The first thing I get is the sugared spruce, and then that cranberry orange fruity note immediately follows. And it is so wonderful. I don't typically like Victoria's cranberry scent, but this one's really good. Yeah, I really like the sugared spruce mixed in there. So this one's almost like if you have a Christmas tree and kind of that mulled cider in the background. Yeah. Or maybe like cranberry sauce. Very nice. Okay, Cranberry Peppermint. Getting close to being done here. This one's got that really bright, strong peppermint, and then that kind of tart berry note, the cranberry in the background. Yeah. Cranberry Brulee, which I believe is cranberry and creme brulee. First thing I get is the creme brulee. It's a very, like, kind of buttery, caramelized type of vanilla. And then that tart cranberry is just there in the background. I can tell this one, the cranberry is going to come out a lot more when it's warm and blend more. But right now it's almost all the creme brulee. Okay, we have Orange Clove. This is another one that's not actually in the Christmas scents. I just thought it fit well. It's like the name says. It's like fresh squeezed oranges and clove. The clove is the strongest note, and then the orange is just there kind of in the background. citrus spice, which this one, I think, instead of clove, it's cinnamon. And it may have a few other citrus notes in it, like lemon and orange. So yeah, again, it's just kind of that spicy citrus type of note. Frankincense and myrrh. This one's very different from the other ones. But I actually really like this one because it is so different. It's got patchouli and sandalwood and then frankincense and myrrh. So it almost smells a little bit like incense. I definitely get the sandalwood out of it. I don't really get much patchouli. Maybe just a little bit, but it's mostly sandalwood and incense. So it's very nice. So yeah, so if you like sandalwood, I definitely would recommend frankincense and myrrh. And then the last one of these Christmas scents is Star of Bethlehem. Now, I had this one before, and I didn't really like it. There was something about it that, I don't know. It just smelled off. But this is a blend of frankincense, orange, clove, and cinnamon. This time around, I get the orange and the spicy note. And that incense is just barely there in the background. It's very nice. Very, very nice. So, yeah. So, that was the Christmas fragrances. So now I'll go to part 2 and do the rest of the scents that I got for this round.